Now you may be asking yourself, Caleb, why are you in a bathtub if you're about to do a playing card collection video? And to explain that, I'm going to need to do a brief history of greed and addiction in media. There's been many depictions of greedy and addicted characters in media, such as Mr. Burns, Mr. Krabs, but my favorite has always been Scrooge McDuck, who was popularized by Carl Barks and Don Rosa. In many depictions of Scrooge, you can see him bathing and swimming in gold in his addiction. And today, with my playing cards, which are my addiction, I'm going to be bathing in them as well. Welcome to the 2023 Playing Card Collection. Posted in 2024. So start off, we're going to do our bulk playing cards, so things that I own multiple of. These are decks that I just kind of want to have all the time. I'm going to want them 10 to 20 years from now, so I just bought a bunch, so I know I'm going to have them. We're going to be starting off with Circleback Tally-Hos. These are the blue ones. Tally-Hos are my favorite playing cards of all time, and I think the reds are probably my favorite, but the blues are also very good. Ironically, I probably have more of the blue ones. I definitely have more of the blue ones. So we're going to toss these in here. There's an absurd amount of these, over a brick of blue Tally-Hos for seemingly no reason. I will eventually use them all, I think. Next up, we're going to do Jerry's Nuggets, and this is a really special playing card. To me, these are the 2019 re-release. I wouldn't be putting the original Jerry's Nuggets, which are worth like $500 in a bathtub, but I'm comfortable with putting the 2019 re-release ones in the bathtub. These are really special to me because I never thought I would have a Jerry's Nuggets, and it's kind of when I got back into playing cards, such a cool pickup, such a cool concept to revitalize these. So I definitely picked up a lot of them. I also have the blue ones, obviously. Very cool. Let me know what your favorite color is in the comments of Jerry's Nuggets. I know they have done like a rainbow. They've done every color under the sun for Jerry's Nuggets, it feels like. Next up, we have Aladdin. These are a new pickup for this year. I got a brick of Aladdin playing cards, just the 1001 playing cards. We have 6 blue and 6 red. Just want to pick these up because it just reminds me of the classic Singapore type of videos. These are the air cushion finish ones because I don't really like the other finish, but still really cool. And I found them for a pretty cheap price on eBay, so definitely got to toss these into the tub. So next up, we're going to have the Tally-Ho fan backs. These are the red ones. Not as cool as the Circleback ones in my opinion, but still very nostalgic, very classic. So definitely had to get a bunch of those as well. Just toss them in. And those are very special to me as well, just because Tally-Hos and Studs are some of the first decks I ever bought with my own money when I was in high school. So we have the blue Tally-Ho fan backs. These are actually the crushed edition that they made in, I think, 2018 or 2019. So they're the best feeling versions of these, in my opinion. Next up, we have my favorite playing card of all time, the Circleback Tally-Ho, but this one in the red, which is my favorite colorway for them. Just such a good design, such a good color. The Circleback really insinuates and makes things like pirouettes and padiddles, things with spinning motions, look really, really great with the Circleback cards. I think that's why you see Orbit and a lot of current card manufacturers and card designers using the Circleback as a design. Next up, we have Stud playing cards. These are from Walgreens. These used to be a Walgreens exclusive. They are discontinued. I believe these are 2017. Yeah, these are the 2017 release. I found these on eBay for about $3 a deck, and I knew I had to get a brick, and I'm super happy I did because I know I will always have these whenever I want one, which I will want one eventually down the line for sure because I will get nostalgic for it. Absolutely. The next deck we have is the Anglo deck. This is a deck from a Swedish company, and they are really good for fans. So if you like doing fans, if you like specializing in fans, this is a good deck to get. You use some fanning powder on these, and they are just chef's kiss. So good. So definitely check out Anglo playing cards if you haven't. They're a little bit more expensive to get in the United States, but they are a good deck, and make sure to support other companies besides USPCC so that we can not have a monopoly on the playing card market. That'd be pretty sick if we could do that as a community. Please. Next up, Peelers V4. This is my kind of quintessential organic playing cards deck. I just think they really knocked it out of the park with this. Cam really just killed it with this one, in my opinion. Taking that original teal design and making it metallic, updating the quartz, such a good design. Just when I think of OPC, this is kind of the deck I think of. I would like to have more V3s, but they're super hard to find. But I did get a brick of the V4s, which I'm super happy about. So just getting those in. I'm not looking forward to organizing this afterwards, so that's going to be an ordeal for sure. Maroon studs, once again, coming back to the studs. Got that brick, had half blue, half red. Studs are awesome, and I think maroon is probably my favorite colorway for the studs. I don't know if they made other colorways, but if there were, I would love to know because I think they would be super cool to get. Maybe Lucas Magic, if you're watching this video, you could make a purple one. Okay, and I believe this is kind of getting into the last of the kind of bulk playing cards. These are my aviators. I have a couple of these, and once again, just one of those classic decks. You have that classic smooth finish, and these are the only smooth finish decks I really have, so if I ever want to use a smooth finish deck, grab an aviator. These are particularly good, I think, for like grandmas and people that just play cards because they're super cheap, and the plastic coating means they're going to last a good bit longer than normal cards. So if you're buying cards for grandma, aviators might be the way to go. All right, next up we have a stack of my Art of Play / Dan and Dave decks. Like Art of Play and Dan and Dave a lot. I would like to get more playing cards by them, but it just haven't gotten a lot over the years, as many as I would like. First up, we have the purple Smoke and Mirrors. I picked these up at Cardistry Con San Diego, and they were strapped under the seat at the convention, which was really cool. It was kind of like a Oprah Winfrey moment where they just were giving out playing cards, and it's like, under your seat, you'll find a deck. And that was pretty hype. I remember that was like a highlight of the event for me. We also have the V5 Smoke and Mirrors, the original V5 playing cards. I remember seeing Henrik Forborg, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, do a video with these, and he just absolutely slayed it. He did so many really cool videos with Smoke and Mirrors back in the day, and I'm really happy to have an original Smoke and Mirrors. Next up, we have Podu. These were given to me by Spud. A lot of playing cards that I've gotten this year were gifts from other people, so if you gave me a deck this year, I really appreciate that. I really didn't spend as much money on playing cards this year as I have in the past. Still got a lot of decks, so thank you guys for supporting me and for being so nice and such a lovely community to be a part of. But these are Podus. We have Vertigo, which is a deck inspired by the movie, the poster art for the Vertigo movie by Alfred Hitchcock. I think this is so cool. I love horror movies, and Vertigo is not necessarily a horror movie, but Alfred Hitchcock is considered one of the founders of horror, so Fulton playing cards. There you go. All right, we are starting to get covered. I may actually have my legs covered by the end of this. I wasn't sure how well this would work, but I think this might work pretty good. So next up, we have Anyone playing cards from Tobias Levin, those type of people. I know they've kind of split up, but I'm always going to picture the original group as running it. So we have the Anyone checkerboard with the blue dot. This is from the San Diego Comic-Con for running the 5K. Anyone, I love that you do the 5K races. It's so cool. Please keep doing those. Those are awesome. We also have different colorways of the checkerboard. Checkerboard is my favorite design from Anyone. It's just so simple. You know, harkens back to like Vans and like street fashion and stuff. So I have a lot of them. I have a blue one, red one, yellow dot one, multicolor one, which kind of looks like corn. No! Can somebody help me? Random water drops started to come from the shower, which was very scary when you're covered in paper. So that was a nightmare for a playing card enthusiast. Checkerboards. We'll continue on. Checkerboards, Midnight Edition, Black Edition, Purple, my favorite colorway. And then we have a couple of the dots. We have the jumbo dots, which I think are just iconic because they're so bad. Such a dumb design. Just a big ping pong paddle on a deck of cards. And then we got the green dots, which were released at the San Diego Comic-Con once again. A lot of decks I got during that trip. Okay, next up, missing. We have one of the data bends. This is edition 7, the lime green kind of data bend. I wish I had more missing playing cards. I sold that collector's trilogy that I had just because I couldn't rationalize keeping it around for how expensive it was, so I just decided to sell it for the money. Does that make me a scumbag reseller? Kind of, but it's kind of hard to rationalize, you know? These decks of cards, to me, aren't worth than $10, so if someone's like, I'll take it for 40, it's like, yes, please, you know? We have the Holy playing cards from Missing, manufactured by Legends. These were my favorite release of the year. Just a fun way to play with cards in a new way, having those holes. I wish more companies would do something with this concept. Obviously, I'm a proprietor of using cards in weird ways, so these were awesome. So I had to get 3 of those for sure. All right, I know we talked a little bit about circlebacks, and we are getting now into Orbit playing card circlebacks. So these are the little bits from Orbits. These are the small playing cards. Orbit Tally-Hos, my favorite crossover probably ever. Tally-Hos should be in more things. We should have a Tally-Ho Fontaine. So USPCC, make that happen. We have Chroma Keys Orbits. I haven't got to use them for their designated purpose of using Chroma Key, using that green screen ability, but I want to. So that's the really cool part of this, is if you film, you can kind of use the green screen effect and put whatever you want in these playing cards. So very cool concept. Next up, V8. Love the concept of this trailer, just being 90s themed. Loved Aslan and Lars and all the people in that video. Really killed it. We also have Orbit V8 and the V8 Parallels. These are super cool. I remember this being like a highlight of COVID. You know, there's so many bad things happening, and then this is like, oh, something good. You know, I feel like things that were good during COVID are kind of heightened. Like The Strokes had an album, and Encanto being on Disney Plus. Those types of things were really great because they were in a really crappy time, so it's kind of got like heightened. Forest playing cards by Orbit. Every deck that you buy of these, they plant trees. I love that concept and wish we would do more charitable work as a community. And next, rounding out the Orbits, we have the Mac Lethal collab, and we have the San Diego Comic-Con Orbits. Next up, we have Diller's Grip, aka Oliver Sogard's love child, and we have the Metallic 5.2s and Form playing cards. This is my favorite one from them. This Form playing cards was in Grotesque, I believe is the name of the video, but it's one of my favorite videos for cardistry of all time, if not my favorite. Next up, we have the Momentum playing cards from Kevin Ho, and we have the V3 Aerodynamics, the V2 Aerodynamics, and then I also have the V1 Aerodynamics, the black and white one, but that's my main carry right now, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get up and get it out of my bag. And then we also have the Ven cards, the collaboration between him and Elliot. Next up, we have probably my second favorite release, maybe tied with Missing with the Holy deck of this year, but we had Susie playing cards, Goose cards. What was really cool about these was the release of the accordions from Lars, finally being able to get these out there. Having a manufactured version is super cool, and like I said, in an age where I have 200 decks and I can literally bathe in playing cards, doing something cool and unique like this is going to be the way you get me to actually spend money. Next up, we have Fontaines, and Zach Mueller. I really appreciate him slowing down on the production as of late. I would like to see, this is going to be really weird for me to say, but I almost want to see him make more right now, which is the opposite of what I've said completely up until this point. But Fontaines, these have grown on me, and I've been able to get some pretty good deals on these. So we have holographics, the Goodco V2s, Halloween Fontaines, which are my favorite Fontaines, the Halloween edition, the collab with Halloween, the franchise, so cool. That's like my favorite horror franchise probably. So just having it in a playing card form, a cardistry form, so cool. We have the holographics. The one before was the Spyro holographics. This is the regular holographics. Denim, another Halloween that's been lovingly used and cared for. I forget what this one's called. I'm going to think it's pumpkin, but the orange Fontaine. Pink Panther, another really cool collab that Fontaine and Zach Mueller was able to pull off. I think it's so impressive what he was able to do when he was really hustling. Slate, I think, but the light gray playing cards. It gets hard when there's been so many colors to remember what's called what. I think this was called Hacker deck, one of the mystery decks, I think, for the fantasies. Army of Darkness, once again, love collabs like this. I wish he would do a horror collab every year. I was kind of disappointed when there wasn't one this year, but I would love to see like a Nightmare on Elm Street. So Zach, if you're listening, call me, and I won't be able to help you, but I can encourage you. And then we have, I don't remember what this one's called, Purple, Blobby, Fontaine. All right, next up we have by far my biggest collection of one brand, and that's organic playing cards. Cam has been such a positive factor in keeping me in cardistry and keeping me interested. His organic playing cards, the hangout groups that he created, if it wasn't for those, I probably wouldn't be in front of the screen right now. I probably wouldn't have done Cardistry Talk. A lot of those things are a direct correlation from that group, from that Chili group. So if you're a part of that group, we should meet again. You guys are really cool. I hope you're doing well. So I'm just going to rapidly go through these because there's so many. So we have Cardsicles, Slicers V2, Getting Spicy, which is better than Getting Saucy. I'll let you know right now. In case you were curious, Getting Saucy ain't got nothing on Getting Spicy. We have Peelers V4, Peelers V2, the Pomegranates, Carver's V1, the watermelon one, Sweet Peas. I would like to see more canned decks, maybe make like a black beans one. Everybody likes black beans. Faros. The names on these are always so great, like Squeezers, relating back to the Squeezers deck from United States Playing Card Company. So we got a Squeezers V2, a Snackers Strawberry, Snackers V1, Squeezers V1, Roasters, which is one of my favorites from organic playing cards. If you're a coffee fan, gotta have Roasters. I wish I would have picked up the pumpkin spice ones. I probably still can. I need to get more of those. Scoops, Slicers V1, more Cardsicles, Snackers V3. It gets hard to keep track of what version of what. The OPC Community Deck V2 and V1. This one was a little disappointing. I only saw the V2 first, so when I saw that these weren't actually shiny, but the box was shiny, that was a little disappointing, honestly. And I think that's why they ended up going with them being shiny on the V2s, was because people were like, I want the cards to be shiny. Avocados, Shuckers, the most underrated deck from OPC in my opinion. These feel so good. I don't know why, but the decks that I have from Shuckers are so good. Squeezers V3. I know I talk about this a lot, so I probably shouldn't talk about it, but I got to be in the trailer for this, which was super cool, and probably the highlight of Cardistry at the time, and maybe even now. So I got multiple of those. Just a really nostalgic time. Two good friends that I got to meet in person. Peelers V3. I want more of these, so somebody give them to me for free. I'm just kidding. I have enough decks, obviously. Carvers, the Pumpkin Edition, the Halloween Edition. Twisters. These are my favorite since the V4 Peelers, probably. I love the metallic on it. The metallic brown is something you wouldn't think would work, but it really does. And then having the kind of salt sprinkled in, so good. More Pomegranates, more Twisters, more Cardsicles. Snackers, V4, so the raspberry ones. And then Snackers V2. This is probably my most used deck in my collection. I have used this so much, and it is so grody and gross. It is so bad. It's so sticky. Next up, we have block playing cards. So for block, I think I have most of the releases. I would like to have all of them. I know there's like the 420 deck I don't have, and I think there's one of the marbles, but we have the plush pink one. We have the white marble. We have the rosewood. And then we have the pines, which what's cool about these decks is they're just kind of borderless, very simple, and it's just whatever the design of the item is, just the raw material is kind of the idea. Next up, we have some custom playing cards. So these were some Cardistry Talk playing cards that I had made at one point. We have some playing cards with Lego bricks on them when I was really into doing weird stuff with cardistry and Legos. We have the Premium playing cards, which I don't think these ever came out, but I wish they would have. And then we have the Yu-Gi-Oh playing cards that Cedric made for me. So my friend Cedric, he designed this for me, and it is basically what the cards look like in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. So in real life, they're a lot more intricate, but in the anime, it's a very simple design so they can animate it well and easy. So this is just very nostalgic to me to remember the times when I watched Yu-Gi-Oh on CW TV in the mornings for kids because we didn't have cable. Like, that was the show to watch. Now it's going to start getting hectic. This is kind of just, the rest of them are kind of collect-alls, individual brands and stuff, so it's going to be a lot here. So these are just ones that feel unique, in my opinion. So we have Copag 310s, Superior brand playing cards, R's back, ARS back, vodkas. These are so good, such a good thin deck. If you don't have vodkas, they're expensive, but they're very nice. Cohorts, just a lot of decks from Cardamundi. These are Van Gogh. These are based off the almond blossoms. I'm a big Van Gogh fan. I think most people are. For the verts, we have these two decks. I can't even remember. This one's P1, I think. P1, these are Virtuoso Moments. So I like Virtuoso a lot. I wish they would kind of cool out on the email bombing, but it is what it is. Actually, I had the red Virtuosos, the newer ones, but I lost the cards, so I threw away the box. And I just recently, on Christmas break, found that the playing cards were left in my brother's car. So now I just have cards without a box. You might have a theory on what this next group of cards are. You might have 11 theories, honestly. But these are the Theory 11 playing cards. This is deck 1. This is one of those original decks where they used metallic as the box. So this is one of those original, innovative type of decks. I don't know if it was the first, but it's the first memorable one, in my opinion. We have the Monarchs, which are the deck that's in Now You See Me. They're a huge one. We have Guardians, which kind of came out of the Chris Angel and kind of emo goth magic, which is funny. And then Steampunk's another metallic box that is based off steampunk culture. My phone just vibrated, and I just have no clue how I would even obtain it right now. These are starting to get into some of those classic decks that I had in high school growing up. This is like the Raiderback was one of those. Studs, more of those. Dragonbacks, this is another super used deck. This is one that I actually own from when I was in high school. It's like the only one that's made it from that long a time ago. Green Dragonbacks, the breast cancer awareness deck. Next up, we have Aristocrats, which are underrated in my opinion. We have the blue and we have the orange. I would like to get the black and the green at some point. More Riderback and Tallyhos. All right, we have Tallyhos again. Metallic Tallyhos, which are pretty cool. I love it when they do these metallic type of decks. I need to get more of these, I think. Aviators. Solitaires, which I actually found in a Cincinnati flea market for $3 each, which I thought was really cool. I'm happy to have these. These are very like old school, I feel like, in a lot of the old school videos, so I probably should have picked up more. Winds. I got these used, but these feel super unique. And I want to use these more because I haven't used them a ton. More tallies. And Ask Alexander. Cincinnati Bees, and an Inspire deck from Bicycle. I think this Inspire deck is actually quite underrated. I think it feels really good. It's very simple. This surprised me. I got this in like a mystery bag from SoCal Playing Cards. Next up, we have a deck from Terra Studios. This is a really cool deck, very underrated. Love this circle back design. Terra Studios really killed it with this one. The Boo back playing cards, ghost themed. I'm a sucker for anything simply ghost, like a simple ghost. Virginia Slims, this is based off the cigarette company. Make Playing Cards Beta 1. These are really unique. Make Playing Cards was trying to do something different, which I appreciate. So that's like a big deal at the time. Some Flora playing cards from Paul Robaya. These are underrated decks in my opinion. If you like playing cards that have flowers on them, like you like the Daps Mila, I would check out Flora from Paul Robaya. We have Parsons playing cards from Sib. Sib's such a cool guy. He's such a good filmmaker. So I love the story that he put into this, the story work that he did in making the trailers, making those unique characters. This is a really cool deck, and it's my favorite from him personally. We have Aperture playing cards from Gliders. They are an early supporter of the Cardistry Talk, so shout out to Will and Cedric. National Parks playing cards. Viscid playing cards from Found Playing Cards, underrated brand from Sam Gordon. He's one of my first friends in Cardistry, so support them. They have a purple deck that I need to buy. I don't need to buy clearly, but I'm going to buy. Louisiana's from Komorebi, my only Komorebi deck, but that's probably my favorite from them. Spuds, reversions from Spud, the man. I don't remember what these are called. I got this gifted to me and I just thought it looked really cool. And then we also have Compass playing cards from Cedric. This is my only Cardistry Touch deck, so it's very special. The box is super cool. Next up, we have misprints from Pablo. I need to use these and actually open them. We have Descendants playing cards from Elijah, another friend. Millennium playing cards. These were gifted to me because they are circle back. Another circle back Tally-Ho. I think this is called Pearl. I might be wrong on that. I think I am. Another Spud version. Title from Square Up. This is my only Square Up deck. It was really cool getting to go to their Midwest Jam here this year. So that was a really cool experience going to Chicago and just experiencing the culture. If you were there, sorry for me being antisocial, but I was very much introverted. I did way too much earlier in the day and was just tired. A Cardistry Con deck, a Pegasus deck, a circle back deck from Cardistry Con San Diego. This is actually very good. It surprised me. This is one of my favorites from the conference. Inception. Primary Edition, Shirosu playing cards. I would like to see this deck in different colorway, so at some point. These are Mesa playing cards. These are an old school deck, and it feels really unique. Terrible for fans, but for packet cuts, I really like it. It feels really cool. BCA, red editions. More gliders, Aperture. Canvas cards, satellites. These are a really cool deck. She took pictures from Google Maps and like transferred the colors into these neon aesthetics. So 52 cards, 52 locations. Really cool concept, really cool Kickstarter. All right, we are at the very end of it. I just have this small pile here, and it does look like I got covered pretty good. I definitely think you could consider this a bath of playing cards. So we are in the home stretch. We just have these decks here. These are ones that I've had to label because they might be gaffed, or there's just something unique about them to where I want to be able to easily identify what's going on with them. So we have the Cardistry game. I just decided to put this in a DS1 case because the box is so big and I wanted it to fit into my collection. So there's the Cardistry game from Biz. We have a Stripper deck, which is a Gaffed Magic deck. We have a Black Hole deck for Tally-Hos, a Mini Rider back. This is an accordion deck, so this is a deck that I've made with my hands using a knife, and not nearly as good as the ones that came out for Goose, that's for sure. Same thing with this Peeler's V4. Crappy made accordion when I was trying to figure out how they were made. We have a solid card from Lotus in Hands. These change colors with heat, so that's very cool. This was given to me by Lucas Magic. Thank you, Lucas. He knows that I like weird cutout things like this, and this is one that he had. I haven't been able to find anything super cool to do with these, but they are just cool to have something neat. These are just some black plastic playing cards. A Svengali deck, which is a magic deck. Another small black hole deck. So this is a Tally-Ho, a very small black hole deck. Medium-sized black hole deck. You can see where I was going with these. I just wanted every size to have a hole in it. A Tally-Ho corners are black holes fan deck. These are some acrylic trainers. These are the wine deck from Jose Portals back in the day. I have not found an acrylic deck that feels better than this one. We have an electric deck, which is similar to an accordion, but not quite as useful, I don't think. Another medium black hole deck. This one's an Aladdin's. Bridge-sized playing cards. Once again, I just like having weird sizes of playing cards because it makes things funner. These last two have really small connection points, really small holes, so you can connect Lego studs. So these are to be reusable to do really weird, playful things with Legos. And that is finally it. So that's the playing card collection, and it does feel like I'm very much bathing in playing cards. This is a lot of weight actually on me. So that's kind of funny. It definitely felt my energy draining as I went through the video with the weight and the lights and just talking so much. But this was really fun. This is something I've always wanted to try. So it's really fun to try new things. I want to do a new concept of playing card collection every year. So 2024, let me know what you think would be cool. I was thinking maybe doing like dominoes, setting them up all as dominoes. I think that would be pretty cool. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you for sticking around and watching this long. And yeah, just have a fantastic evening. I want to get one with me stepping. Okay, now I'm done.